Hey there, group. Welcome back to Saturday Fright Theater. I'm your host, Erik William. And tonight, folks, we have got a great movie for you. The 1961 The Devil's Messenger. It stars the late, great Lon Chaney Jr., one of my all-time favorite actors. And tonight he plays Satan himself. So, folks, as usual, we're going to bring you some great interviews from all the independent filmmakers out there today. And we're also going to bring you a pretty great movie. So sit back, stay tuned, relax, and enjoy 1961's Devil's Messenger right here on Saturday Fright Theater, where every night is a frightful night when you're watching a movie. See you back real soon.
Tanya. Suicide. It says here, third attempt. Determined, weren't you? Love? Love is such a stupid emotion. I hate to see such a pretty girl go down there. At least not yet. I'd like to help you. I have an idea. You could be my messenger.
Messenger?
Yes. We have rules here, too. You see, suicide is a special case. And I'm sure that you'll be looked upon more favorably if you take this job.
Do I have a choice?
Of course, the choice is entirely yours. You'd have to go back. Up there.
No, I won't go back.
Do you realize what is down there? Go look. See for yourself.
No.
I thought you'd change your mind. Now, all you have to do is deliver something for me. If you succeed, we'll take your case before a special tribunal. You see, your crime is different. You only sin against yourself.
And what am I doing here? I've hurt no one.
That will be entirely up to the tribunal. Actually, what you'll be doing is delivering to your society up there a passport, a ticket. One way, of course, for them to join our society down here. We try very hard to make it easy for them to join us. It's like a big country club. Sometimes our gifts are unusual. As you can see, this is a camera.
Looks like an ordinary camera.
That's where you're wrong, my dear. You will find that nothing is ordinary from down here. You'll deliver this to Mr. Donald Powell.
What has he done to make him a candidate for this place?
It isn't what he has done, my dear. It's what he's about to do.
How do I find this Mr. Powell?
Well, there's the address. We'll furnish the transportation. You deliver the gift.
That's it. Good girl.
This is the 28th photo you took.
Oh? I didn't count. Besides, you're being paid by the hour.
This isn't included in the fee.
Don't be coy with me.
You have a wife.
Not since last week. Besides, why should a guy get cooped up just because he paid $2 for a marriage license?
Did it hurt?
I should have warned you about Lover Boy.
I'm being paid to work.
I'm not going to work anymore today.
It's up to you, Don, to work or not. But I'm getting paid. Aren't I, Charlie?
Sure. Now get out of here.
Coming?
Come on, get out.
Okay. What's the rush?
Don, you need a rest. You're overworked.
I feel fine, Charlie.
Why don't you go away for a few days? But don't take a girl with you.
Everybody running my life?
Well, you need somebody to run your life.
Charlie, you make enough money off of me. What do you want me to do?
Go up to Maine, to New England. But only with your camera. Take photographs. Rest. Change the surroundings. Find yourself again.
I'm not lost, Charlie.
If you don't take a rest, I'm afraid you're going to be in trouble.
With whom? Women? They're fine trouble.
With yourself. You're working yourself up into a full-size nervous breakdown.
Oh, rot.
Oh, get away and come back rested, serene, clear-eyed.
Hey, let me take your photograph, will you?
Stand right next to the horse. Here like this. That's right.
I'd like to talk to you. Why don't you let me take your picture? Look, I'm a professional photographer. You've got features I've never seen on another woman. I haven't offended you, have I? All I want's a photograph.
Don't be afraid of me.
Be right out.
Why didn't you call me when you got back?
Coming.
Nice work. This is art, not photography.
All I do is press the button.
You're using the camera like an artist a brush. Look at this old man and the horse. Two old pals having worked together all their lives, now grown old together.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you, Don? You never used to drink before 6.
Don't tell me what I should do and what I shouldn't do.
I thought you'd come back rested, less nervous. What's bothering you, Don?
You and everybody else. Look, Charlie, if you're going to take my worries, you only take 10%, huh? Now, be a good boy and go off and leave me. I'm tired.
At 3 in the afternoon?
Yeah, do I have to stick to convention about being tired?
Oh, I don't want to bother you, Don. I only came by to tell you that World Magazine wants to do a spread about you, 16 pages. The work of the most famous photographer of our time, Don Powell.
What are you doing, Charlie?
In your absence, I even picked out the pictures. I got the Wagner galleries for the exhibition.
What's the matter, Charlie? Don't you make enough money off of me?
But, Don...
You tell me to rest, then let me rest.
But, Don...
Look, I don't want all this publicity. I don't want to be plastered on gallery walls. I don't want to be published in millions of magazines.
You're still sick.
Okay, I'm sick. Now go.
I hope you feel better tomorrow. If you do, come around to the Wagner galleries. Gerard of the World wants to meet you. He's going to pick out the pictures for the magazine.
Hey Hey there, folks. Erik William here with Saturday Fright Theater out here at Genre Blast 3 in Winchester, Virginia. I've got Dylan with me here. Dylan, thanks for joining us on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you out here to Genre Blast 3.
My name is Dylan Hintz. I'm a SAG-AFTRA stunt performer and actor, and I'm also a filmmaker. I run a small training group in the DC area called the DC Stunt Coalition. We train every weekend trying to help people in the DC area get their foot in the door in the stunt industry. And we also produce our own content. So we made a short film for the 48-hour film project in DC called Ghost Cop Part 2, and we submitted it to festivals, and it got into Genre Blast, and we couldn't be happier because Genre Blast rules.
Oh, it is a great festival, and I saw it. It was unfortunate I didn't get the chance to screen it last night, but the title intrigued me. So I had no idea it was a 48-hour project. I actually just did my very first 48-hour in Cleveland, so I know the process. Tell us for the folks out there that aren't familiar with the 48. Tell us a little bit about it and what you had to go through as far as the process.
Great. So Ghost Cop, I believe, was our fourth that we've ever made as a team. So we've been doing it for about 3.5 years. The process is basically this. You show up to a meetup where after you've registered, you are allowed to draw a genre out of a hat. You have to choose between one or two. You get two on a piece of paper. You have to choose one of the genres. And then you wait a little while with the rest of the teams to get your required prop, line, and character. And the character has an occupation, and you have to incorporate those into your movie somehow. And within the context of the genre. It has to somehow line up with that genre requirement. So when we did Ghost Cop, it was for a horror-specific one, so part of the genre was already kind of chosen, but you could draw the subgenres, and our choices were either asylum crazy people or ghosts. Oh, okay. And we went with ghosts, and a lot of that was because we had an amazing makeup artist, and we didn't want to do disfigurement makeup. We wanted to do something a little bit more fun, and we wanted to do something a little fantastical that we could do action scenes with. The only downside was we do action, how do you punch ghosts?
Yes.
So when I wrote the movie, I said, because we punch ghosts. And I tell this story at like every interview, but it's very critical because going into the movie, knowing the title, it's a 48-hour film project called Ghost Cop Part 2. You can't really make sequels to 48-hour film projects. That's technically cheating. Right. Because you can't pre-write these things. You have to write the script, shoot the movie, and edit the movie within 48 hours. And that's what we did. So that's how Ghost Cop Part 2 became what it is today, and it's now been in like 3 or 4 festivals, including Genre Blast, Iron Dragon TV Fest, Iron Dragon TV Action Fest, and Action on Film Fest, and We Are Indie Horror Fest, and so people are enjoying it, so we're going to keep putting it out there.
Well, that's awesome. And you said you also run a stunt team out of DC.
Yes.
I think I actually got to talk with a stunt team at another festival before, and I think having a stunt team is very, very important because it's working with people that you trust, that you know are trained, and it offers somebody that's making a movie on a production, especially in an independent film. I think it's easier to try and get to a team that you've got these people now, so you've got people in place that you trust each other. Talk a little bit about that trust and what it means to have a stunt team that's on the ready.
It's the most critical thing you can have. What we have is we have a team, but we also have a community. And in this community, some people really want to be stunt performers, and some people just want to train like stunt performers. So some people have professional aspirations, and some people are just looking for a way to creatively express themselves and get a good workout in. But what that means is that it's like we have a lot of resources, and we can put them in the specific roles that are going to either help their career or just give them something fun to do, and we know we can trust them. Right. It's like, okay, you're not going to go out and hustle this job 6 days a week, but you like working with us and we know you're good, so we'll put you in the movie. Or we know you really, really want this, so you've been training really hard, we'll give you a key action role in this, and we know that you've worked your way up to it. Right. So that trust builds over time because the expectation is that we all just help each other grow. So when we do something like a 48, we're all in it together. We know there's going to be a finished project by the end of the weekend. And thankfully, we've been on a pretty good streak. We've made a couple of them in a row that have been pretty solid and that the local community appreciates. The best thing about the 48 is that once you're done, 2 weeks later, it's on a screen. Yeah. And it's a packed house because everybody that made one is there to watch it. Yes. So we're spoiled by the first viewing of the movie because it's a packed house and they're like, oh my God, it's a ghost movie and it's an action movie and there's a guy punching a ghost and it's like, yes. So I get to be really creative because I get to step out of the hitting the ground shoes that I usually wear, and I get to write, and I get to direct, and I edit it as well, but that's all for the streamlined efficiency of the project. Right. It's much easier to get a 48-hour done if you know what you shot and you're able to edit it. And we write to what we know, so Ghost Cop Part 2 is intentionally goofy. It actually got nominated for Best Spoof at AOF Action Fest. And it's because the title came about, Ghost something, Ghost this, Ghost that. Oh, what if we call it Ghost Cop? And then I went on IMDb and I was like, there's like 90 movies called Ghost Cop. There's no Ghost Cop Part 2. I guess no one could ever get a sequel made. So we were just like, okay, we'll just call this one Ghost Cop Part 2. And the entire movie is pretty much in media res. Like it starts like in the middle of things happening. That's what the word means. I'm not trying to be an elitist. This is what my producer tells me to say. And then like Brett, who's amazing, by the way, and he couldn't be here right now. He's helping run the gym. And then it just kind of goes, and these characters experience this goofy situation. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm just glad that it's playing well at the festivals.
Well, that's great. For folks out there right now that want to know more about it, social media websites, where can they find out more about Ghost Cop Part 2?
You can actually find it if you just Google Ghost Cop Part 2 48-Hour Film Project. It was an Audience Award selection, so it won the Audience Award for our screening, so it ended up on the 48-Hour Film Project website. But if you want to find out more about some of our other works, DCStuntCoalition.org is our website, and you can find us on Facebook, DC Stunt Coalition. Instagram and Twitter is @DCStuntCo, because it's a long name. And, you can find me. I'm Dylan Hintz, and I'm on the internets in places.
Well, Dylan, I thank you so much for joining us. I know you got a lot to do here at Genre Blast, so we're going to let you get back and enjoy the rest of this festival. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. And we're going to get you folks back to the movie right here on Saturday Fright Theater. Where every night, it's a frightful night when you're watching the movie.
Oh, Don. Mr. Gerard of World Magazine, Don Powell.
How do you do? Mr. Powell, congratulations. Your work is fabulous.
Well, you take a few 100,000 photographs, a few are bound to turn out.
I could take 1,000,000, and I'd never have your quality. The lights fusing on the shadows, the symbolism. We've chosen 24 for the world. We'll also give you a color spread, though your forte is black and white. This is my favorite. Beautiful composition. You can almost touch the snow. And still it has something unreal about it.
How'd that picture get here?
Oh, it's not so bad, Don.
How did it get here?
The best of the collection, I'd say. It shows the eyes of a master who can pick the right object at the exact right light.
Shouldn't be here. Please, Don.
He's never satisfied with his work, is he?
Did you hang that picture here, Charlie?
I found it in the dark room. I thought you forgot to give it to me.
It'll make the cover of the magazine. What's the matter, Mr. Powell?
I don't like this print.
Looks perfect.
No, I'll see that you get another one. This is just a proof.
Oh, no. You leave that with me.
No.
Who is it?
It's me.
What do you want?
A drink.
I didn't call you.
I know. I thought you might be lonely. Or you must have a girl up here. Anyhow, I wanted to be sure which is which and what's what. Aren't you glad I came? I was at the exhibition. It was terrific. But you know what I like best? The pictures you took of me. But you didn't exhibit the right ones. Where are they?
No!
Why not? You took pictures of me, much better ones than you showed at the gallery. I have a good figure. You said so yourself. Where are they?
No, Dixie, please.
Why are you suddenly so shy? Those are my pictures, too. Now give them to me.
No!
Sometimes you frighten me. There's something in you that really scares me.
I didn't mean to.
I better go.
Dixie, please stay. Please don't leave me alone.
You certainly have changed.
How? In what way?
I don't know. But it isn't you anymore.
Then who is it?
Since you came back from your vacation. Something must have happened to you, Don. What is it?
No, nothing.
Have you met another girl?
Why? Why do you say that?
I never saw you so...
How? Say it, how?
You look... frightened. What's frightening you, Don?
Nothing. What a silly question.
Touch me.
Why? Why not?
No.
Yeah. Okay, so I walked out on the exhibition and Gerard's unhappy. I couldn't care less. No, he's not getting a photo. That's what I want to talk to you about. Charlie, where can I meet you? Anywhere you say, anywhere but here. No, I'm alone. Charlie, shut up and listen to me. Charlie, I'll meet you at the 59 bar. Okay, and I want you there, Charlie. You got it? The 59 bar.
I made it as fast as I could.
Look, Charlie, I want to ask you something.
Yes? The same.
Thank you, sir.
What is it?
Charlie, do you think I'm insane?
No, of course not.
How long have you known me?
15 years?
Have I changed lately?
Oh, you're more nervous, but everybody has their
Charlie,
bad
give me a
time.
direct answer, yes or no.
Well, since you asked me. Yes, you have changed.
That's what Dixie said. She left me just now.
Yes, she phoned me.
She did, huh? Charlie, it's incredible. It can't be.
What?
Can a photograph be alive?
What do you mean, alive?
Look, I took a picture of that old farmhouse. There's nobody in the picture. Well, you saw it. Was there anybody in it?
No, there wasn't. It was just a photo of the old farmhouse with a path leading down.
Well, look, somebody has come out of that house, and they're coming toward me closer and closer. What am I going to do? Huh?
Well, I think you better talk to somebody who can give you an answer. I'm not the right guy, Don.
I won't do that. I know when I'm seeing things.
Look, this whole thing is nothing but a hallucination.
Oh.
Look, I'll go with you to the studio and prove to you that you're only seeing things. Why not? This would prove to you that you're only imagining the thing. Look, if I can't see her, you'll believe me. I know you will. Don, be reasonable. Let me come with you.
No.
Sorry, I'm going with you.
No, you're not.
Don. His heart has stopped.
The beautiful devil's messenger. Tell me, exactly what happened?
Mr. Powell's imagination got the better of him. I believe you'd called a heart attack. He'll be here shortly. It's a terrible thing, the way you go around ruining people's lives.
Oh, but my dear, I thought you knew. People ruin their own lives. All we do is help them a bit.
I've delivered your gift of murder. Now, when do I stand before this tribunal?
Well, you have another gift to deliver. Remember? I said we had rules.
You mean I have to go back again up there? Oh, no. I took my life because I couldn't stand it up there anymore. Besides, my sin is no greater than theirs. Why should I be singled out like this? Yes, I accepted your offer. I was afraid of what might be down there. But now I prefer that to helping you with your dirty work.
Well, I was only trying to do you a favor, my dear. Tanya, deliver this pic to a miner in Torsholm, Sweden. What he finds with this pic will lead to all sorts of complications, and we'll have a new recruit.
Look.
Ice.
Looks like we hit the glacier.
That's the end of the shaft. We can't blast it out. It might reach miles into the mountain.
Shall we abandon the tunnel?
I don't see what else we can do. I'd better phone the office.
Hey, Knut.
What is it?
There.
There's something there.
Let's blast it out.
No, I'd better phone the scientists. Let them have a look at it.
You know what it looks like?
Don't say it. I think I'm seeing the same thing.
tell the man to go slow.
But the eyes must be broken.
Already writing the report?
Yes, we'll need it for the Anthropological Congress in September. Just in case we lose the object.
But how can we lose it?
All right, carry on.
Human being 50,000 years old. I want to get the block of ice transported to the museum intact.
Hey there, group. Welcome back to Saturday Fright Theater. Right here is Genre Blast 3 in Winchester, Virginia. I've got an old friend here with me, Wendy, who I actually got to meet last year at Genre Blast 2.
Yes, you did.
Thank you so much for joining us back on the show here again. And for this year, you actually have another movie that played here at Genre Blast.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit for the folks out there that maybe didn't see it before. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about the movie that brought you here to Genre Blast 3.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me again.
Oh,
You're awesome and fun. Like you said, I'm Wendy Keeling, and the movie that I have here this year is called Sarah's Dream. It's kind of a horror comedy, I would say, which is kind of my thing.
Right.
I'm funny and scary at the same time, just like me. It's an interesting little short film about kind of an insolent teenager who hates her mom, and quite frankly, her mom's kind of, can I say bad words?
Oh, of course.
She's a bitch. Oh, by the way, I play her mom. So, in case you didn't already kind of have that. But it kind of follows this young, insolent, kind of crabby teenager, and her boyfriend recently died somehow. And she keeps having these reoccurring nightmares about her boyfriend and the death. But unfortunately, her kind of bitchy, weird mom isn't terribly supportive. And she sends her to a shrink. And you don't want to go to this shrink. You don't ever want to go to this shrink. But anyways, it's a lighthearted horror that doesn't take itself too seriously. We got some laughs. We have Landon Knoblich as our composer. He's up for best score.
Right.
We find out very soon. And Win Reichert is my writer again, and he's also in this film. We tend to work together quite a bit. Do you want to hear the backstory on it?
Of course. Pretty please.
Okay, so I do film festivals, and evidently I'm kind of addicted to doing them because I get to hang with you guys.
Right.
And Win and I were talking, we were on set because we're both actors. We were on set for a Perkins commercial, and we're in the boring green room for a Perkins commercial. And I'm like, dude, we don't have a film for this year. Can we just write something? Can we do a horror? Can we do it with like girls with boobs and blonde and bouncing through the woods? And he's like, yeah. It's not what he wrote though, so like that's not it at all. It's not even at all like that. But he wrote it within 2 days. When I got off set the next day, I'm also an artist, and I was cutting wood for my art, and I cut my thumb off.
Jeez.
Seriously, I cut it off. It's back. They sewed it
back
on.
on?
So yeah. So if you watch the movie, you're going to see me on camera as the mom with my thumb between my legs. It's got this big old wadding that's like this big.
Yes.
It's on,
Yeah.
which is good.
Right.
Because that's a totally different movie. But we basically shot the movie 2 weeks later. And because it was right before Christmas and we were shooting it so last minute, I used a very different DP. His name is Nolan Uberlock. I totally got your name wrong. I suck. I'm sorry. And Uberhole. And then my normal grip, Thomas Wolf, and myself. And then my husband ran the generator, and that's all we had.
Wow.
That's all we had. We call it 4-man band productions, but my husband only came out for the night stuff and ran through the woods. That's it. So it was like 3 people,
right?
And it's doing pretty well.
I was
People
going to say it's played very well. I've heard very good things about it. For folks out there, unfortunately, like myself, I did miss the screening, and they might have missed the screening too. Is there anywhere that we can find out more about this? Website, social media? How can we find out more?
You can find us on the Book of Face,
Okay.
Sarah's Dream, Facebook. You can find me, Wendy Keeling, on Facebook. The website's up as well. We will be screening in Toronto at the Toronto Independent Film Festival on the 12th. We'll be screening at Film Girl Film Festival in Milwaukee sometime in the next 3 weeks. And then I know we're at, just announced the Indigo Moon Festival in Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is a lovely festival. And I don't know where else this film is going because there's a lot they haven't announced.
I was going to say, it's got a lot of wheels, so it's still moving.
Wheels.
That's amazing. Now, speaking of film festivals, I know you have a film festival coming up.
I do.
Tell us a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
I recently moved to Florida from Nashville, Tennessee, and the reason I moved to Florida was I went to this film festival called the Rendezvous Film Festival, and that's on Amelia Island, which is like Fernandina Beach, northern Florida, and I fell in love. And when I moved there, I had been to this festival several times, so like, I gotta go.
Right.
And we moved 2 months ago, and I am programming for their film festival, and also they have a Scare Fest coming up in October. And I'm super excited about that. In fact, I came here to kind of steal films.
Well, of
because that's what we do.
Yes.
And so I'm here looking at films, and we're excited to show some more horror, because there's never enough horror.
Exactly. There could always be more. I mean, that
should be more.
It should be more.
And some of it can be funny.
Yes, exactly. I actually I prefer comedy, when a little comedy in my horror, and something because it makes me feel better when I'm laughing at the horror. That I'm not the only one laughing at some of the.
You really shouldn't laugh at some of this.
I shouldn't. I really shouldn't.
I know, right?
But I do.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, Wendy, that's fantastic. What's next though? What film projects have you got on the horizon?
There are a couple. I'm a little bit on hold because of the move. But Clown College is still a film that I'm trying to do. That's a short film. It's a little darker. Okay. It's a little weird because I'm strange. We're hoping to get off the ground. And then my friend, screenwriter Jeffrey Howe, has a screenplay called Medicine Show Blues, and that's a feature. And we are currently looking for funding on that. We're ready to go. We have talent attached. And I'm crossing fingers that we can raise $250,000 to shoot this film next spring.
Now,
and then there's more, but those are the two projects.
Now, do you have any kind of fundraising site set up yet?
We haven't done that yet. We're actually seeking producing partners at this point. I'm not saying that that's out of the realm of possibility, but you can look up Medicine Show Blues on the Book of Face, which is what I call Facebook, in case I needed a translation.
I would hope not, for my viewers anyway.
You never know.
Never know.
People don't always get me.
I'm glad we get you.
But anyway, I'd love it if you follow all of our projects, Sarah's Dream, Medicine Show Blues, and hopefully we'll be bringing another film here next year.
That would be awesome.
I know, it would be.
Well, I tell you what, Wendy, I won't keep you much longer. I know we got award ceremony coming up here at Genre Blast.
Crossing fingers for Landon.
Exactly. Good luck, Landon. Landon has been on the show many times. I'm going to try and steal you again tonight, and I don't know. I'm going to find you sometime.
Maybe you'll have something.
I hope.
And if not, that's cool because everybody's movies are so fantastic this year. It's like, you can.
It's absolutely amazing. So congratulations on everything. I'm so glad that Sarah's Dream's got the wheels that it's got, and I can't wait to see much more. So, Wendy, yes, soon. So we're going to let you get back to Genre Blast. And folks, we're going to get you back to the movie right here on Saturday Fright Theater, where every night is a frightful night when you're watching a movie.
I want to get the block of ice transported to the museum intact. Hasn't suffered from the transport.
We'll know in a minute.
Can you see anything? Yes.
Let me have a look. Remarkable. This I have to see. The girl in ice. To think that she died thousands of years ago. She looks alive. How beautiful she is.
How do we get her out? Melt the ice?
I would suggest chiseling her out, and the cold would preserve her.
No. Ben, what is it?
Must not take a risk and harm her.
Of course not.
I'll be taking care of her and see that the temperature is kept at 20 below. I'll be in charge.
Why you? I'm the anthropologist here. And you know that my research pertains to any kind of petrified historic man.
As the anthropologist at this museum, she belongs to my department.
I don't want to be cheated out of an important research like this.
Cheated?
Gentlemen, please, let me decide who will be in charge.
My training, my experiences. It's my duty to science.
No, Sven, Dr. Olson is right. She belongs to the science of anthropology. He is an expert on the subject.
I think we should have a surgeon brought in to dissect her.
Dissect her?
I don't understand your attitude. How do you plan to go about getting her out, Dr. Olson?
I think I'll increase the temperature in this room. The ice will slowly melt and become transparent. And then we can study her better.
But everybody will see her in her nakedness.
Why not? Why shouldn't we see her in her nakedness?
When were you born? How many millenniums before my time? What was your name? Your name? Was it Cordelia? Angelica? Are you an angel to return to this earth? Two people are destined for each other. You and I. You had to return to come to me, Angelica. I knew when I first saw you that we were chosen for each other. Only time stood between us. What is time but a conception of man? I have to get you out of your prison to hold you in my arms. I love you, Angelica.
Seastrom! What are you doing here?
The same as you.
Did Dr. Hull make it clear to you that this is my research, not yours? I know that you want to cheat me out of the fruits of my lifelong work. You're no right.
I have the same right to be here as you, Olson.
I understand your feeling. Your scientific curiosity. All right. I'll forget that we met here. If you promise not to come here again.
She is mine.
Of course. Of course. Now let's go out together, eh? Leave the lady alone.
What do you have in mind? What are you going to do to her? You'll make her suffer.
You talk as if she were alive.
But don't you see? No, of course you don't see. She is alive.
That's not possible.
By gradually lowering the temperature, a body can slowly be frozen without terminating life. How long can the body stay in a suspended state? 1 year, a century, a millennium? Who says it cannot? I know she's alive.
Yeah. She looks alive. Shall we go?
I know what you have in mind. You want to get me out of here. You want to make it impossible for me to see her.
That's not true.
Then prove it. Turn this research, as you call it, over to me. She's more to me than she is to you. She's not an object of vivisection.
That's enough. Now let's get out of here.
Dr. Olson did not show up this morning. I phoned his home, but he didn't sleep there last night.
Well, what about the girl in the ice?
Well, that's why I called you. We must keep the find a secret until the day when we have gathered enough scientific information about this body. Otherwise, I'm afraid we'll be overrun with reporters and zealous anthropologists.
I agree with you, Dr. Holt. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Dr. Seastrom, I want you to find out how we can free her from her icy surroundings without damage to her body.
Yes, sir. Then I will be in charge.
Yes.
But under one condition.
Yes?
Since I will be responsible, I also need the authority that goes with a job like this.
Oh, I understand.
I want everybody checking with me first. No one is allowed entrance to the room without first having it cleared through me.
That sounds reasonable.
No one. Not even you.
Why are you restricting me, too?
Only for a short time. It would give me peace of mind.
All right.
And that was the last time you saw Dr. Olson?
Yes, I'm sure of it.
You said you couldn't detect anything extraordinary in his behavior, no sign that he was upset.
No, I didn't. Did you, Dr. Lund?
Well, we were all somewhat excited, I would say, and we still are.
This has nothing to do with Olson's disappearance, I assure you.
Please, let me be the judge of that.
We brought in an anthropolithic object. I put Olson in charge of it. That excited him, I assume.
Now, where is that object?
In the ice house.
Well, then Dr. Olson might be there.
No, Dr. Seastrom, who's working there, did not see him.
Dr. Seastrom? Who is he?
I put him in charge of the anthropolithic object after Olson's disappearance.
Now we're getting closer.
It is pretty, isn't it? I want you to wear it. Here are the shoes. I know they'll fit you. Only a few feet of ice are separating us, Angelica. A few inches of frozen water. But you can see me. Can you hear me talk? I knew you were alive. I knew it. You want to talk to me? You want me to hold you in my arms? I'm going to get you out. Now, soon you will be free. How many thousands of years were you waiting for this day, Angelica? And yet you would have waited another 10,000 years for me, wouldn't you? I might have lived in your time, might have died young, before our love was fulfilled. If I had only the memory of this time, I would have known that I vowed to meet you again on this earth. When I first saw you, I recognized you instantly. Your name came back to me. I remembered your tender embraces, your soft lips. And now you've come back to me. You're going to drown.
really look at me? You're gone. I never should have tried to reach you. I destroyed you. I should have tried to reach you. You're gone. I destroyed you. Did you really look at me? You're gone. I never should have tried to reach you.
I'll never go through that again. I can't believe the things I've seen. Taking my life was nothing compared to the sins your little gifts led to.
Now, my dear. Let's change the subject. While you were away, I was thinking. I think I came up with a diabolical idea.
Is there any other kind of idea in a place like this?
That's a fun. Well, I'm not much for fun, but that's a good one. You know, my plan may be sort of a pun, too. Yeah, you suffered all your life for love. You snuffed it out for love. You were hurt and angry.
Why do you go through it again? I know what I did and I know why.
Well, how would you like to get even? How would you like to wrap up all your frustrations in one little bundle? I thought that would tickle your curious bone. Some people say they can see things in a crystal ball. Others that they can foretell the future. Others say they can reconstruct the past. But they can only see what we down here let them see. Because the crystal ball is the toy of the devil. Tanya, you deliver this crystal ball to a Madame Germain in the Limehouse district of London.
I realize there's no sense in protesting. But so far, I don't see your diabolical plan.
Well, my plan is to reward you for your efforts.
Reward? What do you mean?
Well, let me explain. You love this John Radian very much.
John? Why do you bring him into this?
Isn't that exactly what you want to do? Bring him into this?
Yes.
Then you could accomplish something.
At times I wanted to kill him. But you know, you're right. I would accomplish something. I could get even with him. I could get even for all the suffering, for all the humiliation. I could teach him a lesson. I could teach him one final lesson.
I thought you'd like my little plan. Now you just deliver this. And I can assure you that your John Radian will join us very soon.
Hey there, gang. Erik William here with Saturday Fright Theater out here at Genre Blast 3, and I found Lukas with me. And Lukas, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much.
It's a pleasure to have you on. If you could out there, you had I know at least a short that played this weekend. It was Father and Son?
The Son, the Father.
The Son,
yeah.
the Father. That's Son, the Father. I knew it was in there somewhere. And you were also on a panel this weekend, too.
That's right.
If you could, tell the viewers out there a little bit about yourself and about the projects that brought you here to Genre Blast.
Right, so my name is Lukas Hassel. I'm primarily an actor, but I'm also a writer, filmmaker. I'm here at Genre Blast with my latest short film called The Son, the Father, a psychological horror film of sort of 13 minutes about a young kid who comes home from school to find his mother dead on the floor. And things go very dark from there.
Yes.
The screenplay won at Holly Shorts Film Festival for Best Screenplay, and as the winning prize, it got a production deal, which was pretty amazing. And this production company in Renton, Seattle, basically produced it. I pitched myself as the director, sent them my previous short. They liked it, and they said, yeah, you can direct it. So we did pre-pro for 3 months. I'm based in New York. Cast my actors via Skype with a Seattle casting director. And then I flew up there, met my DP, my AD, my set designer 4 days before shooting. Saw all the locations, rehearsed with my actors, and then I shot for 3 days with a crew of 30 I'd never met. So it was an insane experience.
I couldn't even imagine.
I know.
It's what a story. I mean, that's how do you even wrap your head around that? I mean, how do you prepare for something like that?
Well, I mean, I over-prepare because I'm a relatively inexperienced filmmaker. I mean, I've been in front of the camera a lot in my career. I do TV, I do film, but as a filmmaker, my key to that is preparation.
Right.
So I storyboarded everything. I obviously know my script inside out. So I just didn't want to come on set and be that director who didn't have answers to all the questions that inevitably would come at me.
Right.
So I was almost over-prepared, and then knowing myself was a huge help. I tend to get very micromanagerial when I get insecure and nervous.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that because I knew all these people were giving their time to help me, essentially. So I, every morning when I woke up on set, I told myself to be pleasant and be present. And that helped me. I was like Mr. Nice Guy the entire set, the entire run of the shoot. So.
Wow. That is great. I like that. Was it be pleasant and be present?
Yeah, and I would use that for the rest of my career. It was really helpful.
Wow. That's a great headspace to be into. Yeah. And I think that anybody out there really that, maybe not, I don't think that they would have as similar a story as you, but I know there are people out there that work on projects that really kind of all come together at the last second. And you're working with people and teams that you have to trust. Maybe you don't know.
That's right.
And that's kind of difficult to do. That's like I said.
It's very overwhelming, and it's very easy to start becoming nervous and tense about everything. And you just have to take a breath and be like, well, I'm here right now.
Right.
Let me answer this question, and then answer this question, and then let's shoot this scene, and then we'll go upstairs and take the next thing, and be nice about it.
That is fantastic, which I probably need to take a little advice because we
can all do that in life.
So I was going to say I work with people that have never made films before, and we actually tried to make a film, and we only did a 2-minute micro, and it was
it's stressful.
It was very stressful.
Yeah.
It was fun, and I loved it.
Yeah.
But wow, yeah, but I like that. That's great advice.
Yep.
Now, you were also on a panel.
Yep.
It was How Not to Suck at Screenwriting,
right.
and which is an amazing title. And you had some really great advice for screenwriters out there, and a little bit about outlines and how to, like you said, you storyboard. Can you take us, anybody out there that's an aspiring screenwriter? Tell us maybe some of the advice that you gave during the panel that maybe somebody could soak in from there.
I mean, so number one, you're going to suck at screenwriting when you start out. Yeah. That's just a given. You have to embrace that. And it's just a matter of starting somewhere and then wanting to improve, right? So, but that's a big part of it, wanting to improve. Because that means you have to share your work with people that are smarter than you, that are more experienced than you, and then learn from that. A lot of people, particularly when they start out, get very protective of their material and get very sort of defensive about critique.
Yes.
And they end up not sharing something, and they shoot it before it's really ready, and then the film is going to suck.
Yeah.
And so screenwriting overall, know that it's a process,
right,
and know that you can always improve. It took me about 8 years of hard work to become a good screenwriter. And I lucked out in terms of joining a good work group. Writers work group.
That's right, yeah, the work group.
And just sort of giving critique about other people's scripts, learning what works and what doesn't work was incredibly helpful. Sometimes more helpful than getting notes on my own script.
Okay.
Because you kind of just, through osmosis almost,
right,
through reading a lot of people's work, you kind of go, well, that clearly doesn't work.
Right.
What is it that doesn't work? Oh, it's plot driven. They didn't think about character,
yeah,
which is something that's so basic, right? So when I'm out at panels or film festivals and people tell me, like, ask me, how do you get your great ideas from? And I'm like, well, listen, it's about those things that drive you.
Yes.
At that dinner table, when somebody brings up a topic that makes you raise your voice a little bit, you lean in because you're a little fucking pissed at this topic, whatever, write to that. Like, write what drives you. If you write with your head too much, I'm going to write an action thriller because I fucking love guns and I love...
Yeah.
It's going to show. To me, it's going to show.
Yeah.
Maybe not to other people, but that's a taste level, and I don't judge that. But
exactly.
I just find it important that you know why you're writing your piece, because it's going to be hard work, and you got to know what it doesn't have to have a big moral message, but you still have to know what it is that made you write and develop the story to start with.
Yeah.
And that's going to help you whenever you get lost in your script, like, well, I don't know about this scene. Well, then does it does it inform that drive that you had, that point of view about the world that you have?
Right.
If not, get rid of it. Yeah. So for me, that's like the most helpful thing about writing is figuring out who you are as a person and what matters to you.
Yeah.
And then from there, figure out, well, what genre serves that drive the best?
There you go.
You know, and what characters can help me showcase that issue the best, as opposed to starting from, well, I want an assassin, and then figure out, well, why do I want an assassin? Like, what is it they're doing? And just figuring out cool scene after cool scene after cool scene.
Right.
That doesn't make a good movie for me.
But that's true, and I think that's very, very important. You know, and you see it, I think, more in independent filmmaking today. It's because everyone are, you know, if you're the writer, chances are nowadays we see it more often is you're also the director, because it's your vision, it's your words, and you know, and it's your passion. So it's hard, I think, sometimes to write all that out and then hand it over to somebody and let them do it.
Well, because ultimately it's about control, right? I was always primarily an actor,
right?
And I got so sick of handing away my power to people in the casting office, walking away going, I hope I got that. So writing was my first step in taking some of that power back, and I thought, well, that's my material, it's something that I created, and I thought that was power. But then, of course, the lesson learned is that if you write an expensive script, you're still going to need people to finance it. So the real power is to write a script that's doable with the people and friends and people in the industry that you know. That's power. That's real power.
That is true. Well, I tell you what, Lukas, I do appreciate all those kind words. What do you got next? What's next right now? Are you writing something? Are you working on acting? I mean, what's the next steps? Where can we find you next?
So I just had a script that was top 40 in the Nickel Fellowship, which is a post-apocalyptic screenplay. We'll see what I get out of that in terms of production companies approaching me a lot after Nickel. I have a feature screenplay that I'm thinking of making my first feature with the same production company that produced my short. Okay. We clicked really well, and they were like, you're kind of that missing puzzle piece that we were looking for, because we have the people, but we don't have the writer and the director. Nice. So if they can get that together, I'll do my first feature with them. And I've been debating whether it should be my drama script that I have or a horror script, and everybody's been telling me to do genre as your first feature. Right. So I guess I'm going to go with a horror, and then
argue with that.
Right. And then we'll take it from there. I mean, the task with that horror script was, could I write something in horror that had something to say? Yeah. And that was my task for myself, and I think I did that. So that's probably going to be my first feature, and I'm going to work on that next year. And meanwhile, I'm just acting in all kinds of things, which is fun. It's all good.
So where can folks out there find out more about the short that was here, more about you, social media websites? Where can we find you?
So my name is Lukas Hassel, Lukas, and then Hassel, lukashassel.com. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter. There are constant updates about what I'm doing. I mean, I'm traveling around with this film right now. So I'm going to be at DC Shorts next week, then I'm going to be at Coney Island Film Fest in New York, so there are a whole bunch of things for the next 3 months. And so I'll be posting all kinds of stuff from there, so check it out.
Well, there you go. And again, thank you so much. The movie was phenomenal. It was, I don't want to give too much away, but oh wow, it was very dark and took me places I wasn't quite sure it was going to go, and then when it went there, folks, check it out, find it as soon as you can, check it out.
The Son of the Father.
So, well, Lukas, I'll let you get back to Genre Blast. I appreciate you joining me on the show. And we're going to get you guys back to the movie right here on Saturday Fright Theater. River Night is a frightful night when you're watching the movie.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
And what happens next?
Nothing. It just stops. I've never found out what's in that room. It keeps pulling me, but I've never been able to make myself go inside.
How often have you had this dream?
Oh, 6, maybe 7 times.
This is quite common, John. You have a fear of the future.
Doesn't everybody?
At the same time, you want to know what you're going to do. So you have this dream in order to give yourself an opportunity to find out. You get closer and closer until you're too close. And at the last minute, you're afraid to face it.
Tell me, is that why I scream?
Just a device to bring you back to wakeful and safe reality.
It would be awful to learn one's future. I'm certain I don't want to know any of it.
A part of you does, or you wouldn't have the dream. You want it, yet you fear it. That fear is centered on a non-existent building in an imaginary street.
But that's just the point. It isn't imaginary. I played there many times when I was a boy.
Could you find it if you looked?
Without a bit of trouble.
Then do the thing that you're incapable of doing in your dream. Look at it for what it is. A harmless old building that probably frightened you as a child. Once you see that, I'm sure you'll be relieved of the anxieties that are plaguing you.
Hi. Johnny! Come home! Johnny!
Come in, John Radian. I expected you sooner.
How did you know my name?
The crystal, of course. Shall we begin?
Begin?
Your future. Isn't that why you came?
Yes.
That's always the way with you impatient ones.
I'm not impatient. It's just that
I know. Why do people want to know about their future? To hear about pleasant surprises? Will they also accept the clouds of misfortune, the fears of disaster?
Just tell me what you see. You'll get paid for it.
Relax and come along with me. That's it. Much clearer. much clearer there. Yes. Yes, I see you. But you're still far away. You will be offered a trip.
A trip?
To Egypt.
I assure you, I'm not going anywhere. I have neither the money nor the inclination.
There you are. Looking desperately for somebody. You can't find him. It frightens you. It terrifies you.
Looking for whom?
I don't know. He isn't there. But somebody else. You're talking to him. He has a scar. A deep scar. And he will prompt you to fulfill your destiny.
I don't understand a word of what you're saying.
It is as I expected.
Fine, and tell me, what do I expect?
Your future. But you have no future.
Well, what did you see?
A clock. Striking midnight. I saw you very clearly. I saw you very dead.
You lie.
Yes, I lie. Often. But the crystal never lies. Tonight at midnight, you will be dead.
What is this? Are you threatening me?
I have no grudge against you. I don't even know you.
That's too bad. You know, I thought I might find out who or what it is I'm dealing with.
Why do you want to know?
Somewhere, somebody is waiting to kill me. Maybe the man with the scar.
No. But somehow his presence is necessary to the chain of events.
Then who is it?
What would you do if you knew?
Ah, there are many ways of dealing with a murder. I could find his motives and reason with him.
That would not change fate.
Who is it?
I am the one who will take your life.
What do I owe you?
Nothing.
Just how do you intend to kill me?
I have no idea.
But is there a reason?
I don't even know you.
Well, this is a big town. Try to find me before midnight. Is there a telephone around?
You just passed one.
Oh, there's a girl in there. She's on a marathon talk. How long can a woman gab without saying anything?
That's why I never married. Buy a ticket. Might be your night. Have a look. Might be a winner.
A plane ticket to Egypt.
Aren't you lucky? For days I thought I was only selling duds.
Yes, that away.
That's what she said. Egypt.
Said? Who?
Hello. Dr. Holmes, please. Look, I'm talking from a public telephone. Try to find him for me, will you, please? I want him now. He's my doctor now. Do you understand? Get him. Look, I'll leave my number. It's Hendon 3535. Call me. I'll be waiting. Hendon 3535. Have you got that? Officer, I suppose this will sound a little foolish to you, but would you please arrest me?
You've had a few, huh?
No. Look, just overnight. Take me in for overnight, that's all I ask, please.
Now, you go home and sleep it off.
No! She is going to kill me. She told me so.
Well, I think that's very sporting of her to give you a fair warning.
Oh, officer, this is no time for jokes. Don't you realize I may be dead before morning?
Listen, mister, we're all liable to be dead before the night's out. Now, just get through there.
Look, I know this sounds ridiculous to you. But I had this dream, see? And my doctor, he said, face it. He said, nothing is as bad as it seems if we face it.
Hey there, gang. Erik William here, out here at Genre Blast 3 for Saturday Fright Theater, and I've got a filmmaker, writer, producer, Michelle, with us. And Michelle, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And for the folks out there that weren't lucky enough to be here at Genre Blast 3, can you introduce yourself and tell us what brought you down here to Genre Blast 3?
My name is Michelle Iannantuono. I'm a filmmaker based out of Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm here representing my feature film, Livescream.
Livescream, that is it. And folks, if you weren't lucky enough to be here, it was an absolutely amazing, original idea. It was, you know, a lot of filmmakers, I say beautiful, but it really was. The ideas behind it. Can you tell them a little bit about it and about your process behind it?
Basically, Livescream is what if Markiplier played a haunted game. So, you know, it's a real-time Twitch stream where you have the chat, you have the webcam of the gamer, and then you have the gameplay, which was all built by me in Unreal Engine and RPG Maker. So as he plays the game, it starts to become more apparent that the game is not what it seems, and it's actually going to have deadly consequences if he loses lives in the game. So there's a lot of homages to games like Slender, Five Nights at Freddy's, Amnesia, basically anything that's been in the indie horror, right, you know, on YouTube in the last 4 years. Yeah. So I guess the process of making it was just watching, you know, these guys like Jacksepticeye and Achievement Hunter play these games for 4 straight years and absorbing all of this information and culture and then utilizing it in the film.
You know, and I love the idea of, you said you had this idea for this film, and like you had to make it. Take us, you know, tell the fans out there how. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. When you hear from the idea that you had to when you got this shot, it was pretty fast. I mean, it's an understatement. So take us a little bit behind that.
Yeah, so I had the idea in July of last year when I was watching Uno the movie, which is an excellent 2.5-hour long Uno Let's Play from Rooster Teeth that you should totally check out. It's got like 10 stars on IMDb. Nice. But anyway, I thought that if these people can make a feature-length, you know, show of, you know, a feature out of a video game, I was like, maybe I could do something similar for a feature of my own, because I knew I wanted to make a feature. I had done shorts for a while, and I knew that was kind of the next step. Right. So then it took me until November to sort of figure out what story I even wanted to tell, what themes I wanted to tell, what I wanted to homage, what the plot structure was going to be. And then the week after Christmas in December, I wrote the script, casted it in 2 weeks, spent 3 weeks rehearsing with Gunnar Willis, the lead actor, and also building all of the games. Spent a weekend shooting it, and then spent a week in post. So it was 8 weeks from the time I started working on the script to the time we were submitting it to festivals.
And when you see this, because you mentioned it briefly there for a second, that you created all of the games, you know, for this, and I just couldn't. I've stared at my computer for 8 weeks just trying to, you know, code one little line of code for a web page, let alone something like this? I mean, how long did it take you just in the game creations?
So it was 3 weeks for all 9 games. The RPG Maker level was probably the easiest. That was like an hour and a half. RPG Maker is just super intuitive. And there wasn't really a lot to that level. It was one room. There was only a couple trigger events. I think what also was helpful is that the games didn't have to be playable. It was a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of, monsters hidden behind walls that, appeared when you looked away, and then when you look back, things have changed.
Right.
I didn't have to actually make them interactable and fully playable. So being able to shoot it like a filmmaker, or even almost like theater in some aspects, with just sort of like set pieces and matte painting sort of moving around, was made things a little easier. But at the same time, like, I'm glad that I had a little bit of prior Unreal Engine experience. I had never actually designed a game in it before, but about a year before, I wanted to do a Fallout 4 machinima where I imported Fallout 4 into Unreal Engine and did a bunch of stuff with it. So I watched like 20 hours of tutorials and got my feet wet in Unreal.
Yeah.
So I knew my way around the user interface, at least before I started Livescream. And during that process, I ended up deciding not to do Fallout 4 in Unreal because that would have been a lot.
Right.
But it at least gave me exposure to how easy it is to use that program. And the program's free, too, which is also super, democratized. I mean, you can go home and download Unreal Engine and get started today, and you could probably have a playable game by the end of the week, if you follow the tutorials.
Right, yeah, exactly. Which, again, this kind of just blows my mind. But I tell you what, like I said, you talked a little bit about the casting and how you did it in such a short period. How did you find, it was Gunnar, right? Yeah, how did you find him? And I mean, because, again, as an actor, in the way this is shot, I don't want to give anything too much away, but he really, really sells it. I mean, I know that there was some, you talked a little bit about it was 100% script, but it was also a little bit of improv on top of that. But it does not come across. It really comes across like you're watching a live, a gamer. It's absolutely amazing. Tell us a little bit how you found Gunnar and the process behind that.
It was really important to find somebody who could sell it realistically and who could feel natural and who could feel like they weren't reading.
Right.
And I've actually had people ask me if he was reading off the script, because they can't believe that he actually memorized all 75 pages, but he did. I mean, we tried reading off the page and it sounded too stilted. It sounded like it was fake. And with found footage, I mean, you don't have that option. It has to be immersive. It has to be believable. But with finding Gunnar, we have a mutual friend named Michael Whaley who's worked with him before, and I saw Gunnar in a short film called God at the South Carolina Underground Festival, and I really liked his performance in that. And I knew that I was looking for somebody about his age, about his look, his vibe. So I ended up putting him on the list of about 15 people that I sought out through agencies, through Backstage, through mutual friends, through literally just hunting across the internet for like a 25 to 30-year-old actor in the Carolinas who looked like they could be a gamer nerd. So once I narrowed that down, I reached out to everybody and got them to send in an audition, and Gunnar's was just exceptional. I mean, he really, really was just so natural, and he fit right into the role and was able to make me believe that he was this person. Right. And also he was so charismatic that in his second audition he did like 5 pages of script, and I didn't want him to stop.
Yeah.
I just wanted him to keep going and keep showing and keep watching him. So that's really when I knew that I had to work with him. And he's based out of Greenville, South Carolina. So if you ever want to hire him, that's where he's located, although he travels. And I'm based out of Charleston, so I did have to bring him in from out of town, but absolutely worth it. I mean, it wouldn't have been the same without him.
It was absolutely amazing, wonderful performance. In fact, he was nominated
and
won. So for Best Actor in a Feature. So it was absolutely well deserved. And well, I tell you what, what's all this about Livescream? What's next for you? What have you got coming up next?
So I do this monthly live show on my Facebook page, Octopunk Media, called Octopunk Live, and that's sort of a 15-minute to 20-minute, like almost press conference where I talk about what I have in the works, what's going on with Livescream, where it's screening next, whether it's going to go on distribution soon, maybe eventually, I don't know, not yet, but eventually when that time comes, hopefully. But also, Livescream tie-ins, future projects, all of that. So I implore people to go check out Octopunk Live if they want to catch up with the other stuff that I'm doing. As far as other stuff I am doing, I'm co-producing a short film called Killer Assistant, which is directed by Michael Whaley, who is our mutual friend with Gunnar.
Right.
We're running a Kickstarter for that right now, so we're trying to raise the money and film that in the fall. I'm also working on a short with another friend of mine called Femme Fatale.
Okay.
That's probably not going to be till next year, but it's in the works.
It's in the works.
And after this weekend, I am really jazzed to do my Livescream sequel.
I was just about to say, I know you'd mentioned a little bit about it, and
Yeah.
I'm excited. I would love to see something like that.
I had it on the schedule for maybe a year and a half, 2 years from now. I wanted to do another feature first, but now I'm kind of oh God, I have so many ideas now and I really want to apply them. So, follow Octopunk Media to see what I decide to do.
There you go. We will put some links up there. And so, again, speaking of links, how do we find you social media-wise? Facebook's, Instagrams, what's out there?
Yeah, so facebook.com/octopunkmedia is where you can find everything. There is a Livescream page too if you just want to follow Livescream. That's facebook.com/livescreamfilm. I'm Octopunk Media on Instagram. I'm Lady Tuono on Twitter. And I also have a personal Instagram, but don't worry about it.
Well, I tell you what, again, Livescream was absolutely amazing. I hope we'll make sure that we get it out there, circulate it. Can't wait to see what's next from you. It was just wonderful. So, Michelle, thank you so much for joining us here on the show. I could probably sit here and chew your ear off for another, 20, 30 minutes, but I won't do that to you. We still got more Genre Blast, believe it or not, there, folks. So we're going to get you guys back to Genre Blast. I'm going to get you out of here and get back to Genre Blast. And we're going to get you guys back to the movie right here on Saturday Fright Theater, where every night's a frightful night when you're watching the movie.
You really had the advantage, didn't you? The moment I'm out of your sight, I'm a sitting duck.
I hoped that you wouldn't come back. But you see, neither of us can escape it.
Well, if I spend every moment with you, there's nothing you can do that I won't know about.
If you don't sit down, you'll wear out the carpet. That wouldn't take very much.
I walk in here and I find you in this room, sealed off from the world. There isn't a window in this room. What is this, a tomb?
Enlightenment comes more easily in the dark.
And what about you? You obviously believe that you're going to kill me. Don't you care enough about yourself to try to prevent it?
If I had it in my power, I would. But there is nothing I can do, except...
Except what?
The kettle. I was preparing tea when you arrived.
Operator, get me Westlake 4100. Yes, quickly, please. Hello? Hello? Did you get Dr. Humes for me? Yes, this is John Radian. Well, connect me quickly, please. Oh, I'm glad you're home. I'm at 20 South Central Street. Yes, I followed your advice. I did. I met her. The fortune teller. I'm with her now. I'll be here till midnight. Sure she exists, just like in the dream. I want you to know, if anything happens to me, it was the fortune teller. Madame Germaine, got that? Yes. Goodbye.
Join me in a cup of tea?
I just made that telephone call. Now, not to the police. They're no good to me. To my doctor. You heard what I said?
Sugar? Milk?
Now, if anything happens to me, the police will know where I've been.
There is nothing we can do to prevent your death.
This tea, it smells funny.
You think I'm trying to poison you?
I don't know.
But you don't believe in the crystal?
Of course I don't.
Then drink your tea.
Did it ever occur to you that you might die first?
What do you suggest? Shall I kill myself?
I swear your time is as short as mine.
Let me by, Mr. Radian.
Don't tempt me.
Let me by.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
You've got a gun. Wind the clock, straighten the room. If there were a cat, you'd put it out. How can you go on like this if you're convinced something's going to happen?
We're all going to die. It's just that most of us don't know when. So we go on, day after day.
Tell you what, I'm sorry for what I said before. All right?
That's understandable. For one who has 5 minutes to live.
Don't say that.
I'm sorry. We both have reason to be.
You were saying, madam?
We both have reason to be nervous.
The prediction's on the other foot now, isn't it?
I want you to leave here now.
Why?
Look, you're free. Free to get away from me. You mustn't commit this crime.
Shame, but it was his own fault.
That's not what he told me.
It was a stupid thing to be wandering around in that building.
He was looking for something he had lost.
Guess that's why he didn't see the sign.
Sign? Where's the other body?
There was only one.
Oh, no, when he called me, he told me that she was responsible.
Who?
The fortune teller, the one that lived here.
Fortune teller? Living here? I told you this building is condemned. It's been empty for years.
Ah, Sir Tanya, you have done well. Now you can realize that coming into the unknown was not in vain. The lovers are reunited.
Look, I don't know who you are or what this place is, but let's get one thing straight. I'm not in love with her, and I haven't been for a long time. You can't blame me for what she did. Anybody that'd cut their wrists and say it was for love. I don't want any part of it.
You haven't changed. You'll never change. You're just as rotten as the day I
What
met
have
you.
you got to do with all this? I thought we said our goodbyes a long time ago. You never give up, do you? You know, I've told you again and again, you better see a doctor. You're sick.
Stop it! I told you never to say that to me again. I don't have to stand here and listen to you.
Wait. It's too late for that. We have no interest in your petty arguments down here. Mr. Radian, you were brought here for a purpose. Perhaps I should say a twofold purpose. Hers and mine.
Look, mister, I don't know why she brought me here, or what you're talking about, but I'm not planning to stay very long, so you better get to the point before I walk out of here.
Same old John. Only this is one conversation you can't walk out on. In fact, there's only one way out of here. Who's there?
Now, hold on, my dear. You may be right in a way, but let me continue.
Go ahead, but I haven't much time.
That's where you're wrong, Mr. Radian. Why, the only thing you have left is time.
What? This is... And those people are...
You became aware quicker than most. But as I said, twofold. Satanya's was for vengeance, which we condone. Ours for selfishness, which is part of our code.
Please send him through there. He doesn't deserve an explanation.
No. Our plan is only half completed. I need you both.
But you said the tribunal would pass judgment. I fulfilled all my assignments. I don't understand why I should even be here.
You wanted to be here. You bought your ticket one way. But because of your determination, we've shown compassion. We've selected both of you to help us annex Earth as part of our domain.
Can't you get to the point?
Well, you never were one to understand the meaning of patience, were you, John? Now let him continue and we can get this thing over with.
It's all very simple. I needed two lovebirds that had turned into fighting cocks. That's why we had to bring you down here.
Look, why all the games? Can't you just get on with it? What do you want us to do?
He is impulsive, isn't he? That's why we chose him for the job. Well, here, I have an envelope that I want you both to deliver to her.
Always told me before what I was delivering. What's in this envelope?
It's our greatest achievement. It assures us of more territory, space. We've been overcrowded here for years. That envelope contains a formula.
A formula?
What is it? What do we do with it?
Delivered to them. They'll know what to do with it. They'll play hell with it. That formula is a 500 megaton bomb.
Hey there, folks. You made it. I told you tonight was going to be a good one, and I didn't fib, did I? I don't think I did. I know I enjoyed it, so I hope you all did too. We got some great interviews tonight, And we also showed a pretty great movie, an actual horror movie starring Lon Chaney Jr. I mean, how much better does it get? Well, folks, I tell you what, we do this for you, and we can't do it without you. So find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, give us those likes, reach out to us. If you're an independent filmmaker who would like to get interviewed, contact us. We can work something out. Contact us, though, so we can contact you and get your voice and your message out to the viewers. Again, folks, thank you so much for joining us here on Saturday Fright Theater. We're going to let you get back to it now. Whatever you were doing, go do it. We're done. So we'll see you, and maybe even you, next time, right here on Saturday Fright Theater. Every night is a frightful night when you're watching a movie. See you next time.